one person mentioned the old man's gone. So, it's a different vibe, and Kalen talked about that. It's his vibe. He's really laid back and he's relaxed. And it doesn't mean he's not demanding, right? It doesn't mean he can't get intense. I think he can, but it is just it's very different from the just the environment, the atmosphere around there than when Nick Saban presided. They're having music at practice. They never really had music at practice, right? The assistant coaches are doing regular media interviews, which is pretty unusual, yeah, as well under Nick Saban. So lots of change, and it was a good sit down with Kalen. If you got 15 minutes with Nick Saban, you were doing really well. And KALEN DEBOER is a talker, and we went about an hour in his office. It basically centers on all these changes, whether they're cosmetic, like I mentioned about the office, or just the environment in the building. And maybe it's not necessarily good, right? And Greg Byrne said this, the AD at Alabama. It's not necessarily good. It's not necessarily bad. He knew that there would be changes, and he knew that when he hired any head coach, there are going to be changes. There are going to be differences, and that's on display there.
There is no vibe like Nick Saban's vibe. Maybe Kirby Smart approximates it, but it was always going to be different, especially when you hire somebody from outside of his tree. It's just when you're replacing somebody who isn't just the best at what they do, but has this kind of forceful personality and aura, that's when the changes kind of come out more jarring. I'll never forget when Mike Davis took over for Bob Knight. That was truly like the Soviet wall coming down for a lot of the staffers at Indiana, where it was just like the mood changed so quickly, so dramatically. Mike Davis didn't end up winning like Bob Knight, though, and so, hey, lighter, funner, that gets you somewhere, but it doesn't necessarily get you championship rings. So we'll see if DeBoer can repopulate that coffee table.